Felix, a couple months ago, you were on my show and we talked about your view on interest rates. You had talked to me about how there's a potential for interest rates to climb much higher. You mentioned perhaps even 8% should several economic factors turn the other direction. Can you elaborate more on that view and perhaps Ed can respond?
Well, that is a secular view. You know, the secular view, of course, contains several cycles. And I think we are going through the first cycle. The inflation rate has peaked and is declining, and maybe will bottom sometimes later this year or next year. And then it will rise again, because whenever the economy slows enough, or more than enough, then the Fed and maybe even the fiscal authorities will come in and stimulate, as they always do. And then we go into the next upcycle. And as we go into the next upcycle, I think we will bottom above the previous low of the previous cycle. And that means we are in a secular uptrend in inflation, and that is also true for interest rates. So I think later in the 20s, in this decade, we will probably hit 8% or even higher on 10-year treasuries. It will most likely be a very different world, with commodity prices flying much more than they do right now, and the Fed will then, at some point of time, be called on to slow it down again and to break inflation again. So it's a secular view. And I'm much more concerned about the next cycle of higher interest rates, not in this cycle. In this cycle, I think the 5%, you saw at 5%, the central bank and even the Treasury came in to help and prevent that a breakthrough to the upside